Now, the good news is I just really came up here to say hi because my entire talk has been done this morning already. Speakers love when that happens, but you know what? It's okay, though, because the stuff is so important, the information is so critical that it's worth repeating and reinforcing again and again. Here's the deal. You have a choice, right? You could take the blue pill. The story ends. You can go to sleep and wake up and believe whatever you want to believe. Or you could take the red pill, okay, and you stay in Wonderland, and I will show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. The infamous words of Morpheus to Neo, but I think it's very appropriate to what we're doing, what we're talking about. Because, see, I have seen two groups of advisors who have chosen the blue pill. Okay, the first group is the advisor who is doing pretty well. They're getting referrals. You know, they're okay. You know, business is okay. They're comfortable. Not a good place to be, by the way. Not a good place to be. Okay, the other group who takes the blue pill sees the value of marketing. They see the value of online platforms. Problem is, they're chasing shiny objects everywhere. Right? So they see the value. They know that marketing is important, but they're going from one thing to the next, one training to the next, one concept to the next, one system to the next. And they're getting frustrated. Okay, they're getting frustrated because you're not getting the results that you want. Then there's the advisor, and I must say at this point, pretty small group, that's taking the red pill. Okay, they get the importance, but they also get what I'm going to share with you in this presentation. Now, I'm not here to knock anybody who has taken the blue pill. Okay, I was a blue pill popper for a long time. Okay, back in 2006, I had a thriving commercial floor covering company. We were doing millions of dollars in revenue. It was awesome. Now, by the way, I hated it like crazy, but you know, the money was coming in, so that puts a Band-Aid on things for a while. We were investing like mad in qualified plans. Who needed cash flow? I didn't need cash flow. I had more checks coming in next week, right? Who cares? Problem is, 2008 came. And then all those investments that I had tanked, as you all know so well, right? Many of you lived it. At that point, something even worse happened because most of our revenue was tied up in government and state contracts. Those contracts disappeared. So our revenue went down over 75% within 2 years. I had my head in the sand. I mean, you know, it was too easy. And a lot of people could say that back in that time period, right? It was just too easy. So within a short amount of time, you know, I ended up walking away from a smoldering pile of ashes after selling off some equipment and stock for pennies on the dollar. And at that point, you know, and by the way, we also lost our house, right? A lot of people can relate, I know. You know, it's very common back then. But here's the deal. What I didn't understand is this wasn't really a crisis. It was a change that happened that I wasn't ready for, change I wasn't prepared for. I was comfortable, content. But what it did was it motivated me to start following what I really wanted to do. Okay, and if it wasn't for my wife and these two rascals, who are now 10 and 12, wouldn't have made it. Would not have made it. So, what I did was, I immersed myself, I took my love of marketing and sales, I immersed myself in online marketing. Okay, and I learned from some of the best in the business at that time. Immersed myself. I wanted to understand how to market online, and I wanted to help other people do that. But what does any of this have to do with you? It actually has quite a bit. First thing I want you to get is complacency, contentment Inertia is going to ruin your business. Don't let it happen. Don't be comfortable. We all, as humans, want to be comfortable, right? It's fun to be comfortable. In your business, it's death. Get out of that routine. Do whatever you need to do to shake yourself up. Second thing I want you to get, and you know this, but I'm going to reinforce it. There are millions of people like me who got very jaded, very upset, very angry at the government, at the financial institutions, at typical financial planners. There's millions of people out there. Here's the problem, though. If they don't know the solution, they're confused, right? I mean, what do? You keep hearing all the talking heads on TV talking about what we need to do with our money, and then people like me are going, what? Isn't that exactly what got us in trouble last time? Why would I do that? We don't want to make a bad choice again. Most of us can't afford to make a bad choice again. So you guys are in a prime position. Here's the problem, though. You have all kinds of solutions. You help people relieve their tax burdens. You help people understand opportunity costs. You help people understand cash flow. You have their solutions. Problem is, most people don't know you exist. And that's a big problem. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stand out? Are you going to do what it takes to stand out? Now, I'm not suggesting anyone in here is a goat, okay? Just about the red sweater. But what are you going to do? Here's the thing, and I know we're talking about a lesson. That's why I said it's actually really good we had this conversation started yesterday and into this morning, because reinforcement's really important here. Marketing tactics, I could teach you those all day long, okay? But if you don't understand the conversation we're having today, then all those tactics will be nothing to you. So you have to stop trying to please everybody in your marketing. A lot of you are still doing this. You're trying to be everything to everybody. It will not advance you to where you need to go. Sure, you can work hard. You can make success. You can bring in revenue in your business. But if you really want to take this to another level, you can't do it by trying to be all things to all people. I love this from Seth Godin. A simple test for an ad is, can I substitute another business's name into your ad and it still makes sense? If it does, it's a bad ad. And I would take that and I would apply it to your websites too. I'll ask you right now, think about your website. I know, and believe me, some of you are doing outstanding jobs with this. But many of you, I want you to think about this. Can we do that? Can we take somebody else's name, somebody else's company, insert it in your website? Does it still make sense? If it does, you have not really shared why you're different in the marketplace. Here's the funny thing. We heard about racking the shotgun, right? So I'm going to reinforce it. Perry Marshall's a mentor of mine. Tim Francis mentioned him yesterday. Important concept, okay, because it's very visual, right? You can really sense what that means. And again, I'm not going to belabor this, but the point is that certain people in a crowded, noisy environment, there's some people who know what that means when that shotgun's racked. They'll understand that sound immediately. Most people will keep on listening to music and drinking, and they won't even notice. You want that in your business. You want that same approach in your business. You don't want everybody. Stop trying to get everybody. See, if everybody in here gets who they're supposed to get into their business, then we'll start making a massive change in the reach that we have. Okay? The cool thing about racking the shotgun is people will self-identify as being the right or wrong target for you. They'll do it automatically. We keep talking about qualifying. You can do all this ahead of time. You don't have to do it on the back end once you're trying to set an appointment. Through your marketing, through your messaging, you rack the shotgun, and people will self-select. A lot of people will drop off, and that's a good thing. You know what I hear so often from advisors is they get tired of wasting so much time with the appointments, and people aren't qualified, and all the follow-up and the time they spend. This is the solution. This is the solution. This is going to start to put the right people on your radar, the right people on your appointment book. Okay? Now, here's another principle which is really important, so I'm going to stop. for a second, and I really want you to get this. Okay? If you can't be number one in your industry, then slice off a sub-niche of your industry and be number one there. Proclaim yourself number one there. That's big because you know what? And there's probably a few exceptions in here, but the vast majority of you can't be number one in your industry. It's just the way it is. So stop beating your head against the wall, trying to fight that and picking up scraps. You don't have to pick up scraps. Okay, what you want to do is you want to find a slice of the industry that you're really passionate about, that you have a background in, something that people you can really serve and relate to, and be the champion in that slice of the market. You can own that. Is it, I'm just picking some random ideas here. Is it, to help, as a prosperity economics advisor, to help, parents learn how to get their kids through college? See, what's cool about that is, let's say that you picked that, and you can even drill down more. Mary and I were talking about it. I was like, how about single moms trying to get their kids through college? But what happens is you can get into their psyche. You know the problems that they're going through. You know the dreams that they have. You know the roadblocks they see in front of themselves. You no longer have a watered-down message. You're not trying to speak to everybody. Now you speak specifically to that group of people. Is it, retirees who, let me scratch that word, not retirees, elderly folks who wanted to, who wanted to really extend their fun, but they didn't see a way. It looked like their money was going to run out. And you come in and you show them how to restructure their finances in a way where they can continue to live the life that they wanted to. Now, here's an example outside of the industry. Not to ruffle any feather, but again, I don't mind ruffling a feather or two. But here's a great example. Conservative Move. I don't know if anybody's heard of these people, but basically what they do is they help people living in liberal states move to conservative states. That's what they do, okay? But it's brilliant when it comes to an example of what we're talking about here. They can't be number one in the moving industry. It's just not going to happen. Okay, but they can be number one in this slice of the industry, and they'll upset some people along the way, which makes for outstanding marketing, okay? But here's the bottom line. This is what we've been talking about since yesterday. Jason brought it up, and we talked about it this morning, is the most important way to differentiate yourself is through your stories and your values. Now, here's one little addition I'm going to make here. Real stories. Not your BS story, okay? Not the story that we all like to tell that makes us seem so smart and so awesome and so successful, okay? There is a place for that, but I bet you if I go to most of your sites right now, go to the About page, I bet I'm going to see a lot about your background, your education. I'm going to maybe even see something about your hobbies. But how many of you actually have a real raw story on your site? I know Michael does, and there may be a few others. And if you do, good for you. But if you don't, it's time to shake things up now. Like Jason said yesterday, you have to, discern what you want to share. And, everything, the night out with underwear on your head and everything is probably not the best thing to share. But the pain of what you went through. And the most important thing to share in your story is what connects you to them. What connects you to them in your story? That's what they care about. Because, see, when people are listening to your story, people by nature are pretty self-centered. Sorry, it's the way it goes, right? So when they're listening to your story, it's not so much they care about you. Of course they do care about you. But what they're listening for is how they can relate your story to them and their lives. They're listening for things they can relate with and connect with, okay? People will choose you because they trust you and they resonate with your stories and your values. They will pick you for that reason. Here's the thing. There is a lot of people who do what you do. There's a lot of people that do what I do. On the surface, we're interchangeable parts, basically. Okay, but what's going to separate you is your stories, your values. Those are the things that are going to get them to work with you. They'll choose you for precisely those reasons. All the details are actually secondary. All right, here's one more thing to think about. I got to step it up. I'm yapping too long. But think about this. This is a great way to look at this to really zero in on your market. if they all said yes, say everybody could say yes, all those people out there you're trying to reach, who would you actually want to work with? Right? Because now you can't take everybody. Everybody can say yes. They all can afford it. Now you're like, well, I can't take, thousands of people. So who do I want to work with? Get clear about that. You don't have to do business with everybody. And this is a little harder for somebody who's new, right? My friend Michael Port talks about the red velvet rope policy. Okay, and in essence, that says you let certain people through. Now, what he also says is sometimes early in your business, you loosen the rope a little bit, right? Sometimes you have to do that. You have to bring in, you do have to bring in revenue, right? You have to pay the bills. But the point is to get this concept and know you don't have to accept everybody. What values drive them, drive both of you? That's your connection. Again, back to the stories. Those are the things that are going to connect you together, okay? So, do you want to know how to have more qualified people and have more quality leads, right? That's a big conversation that we have. Qualify more quality appointments, more quality people on the phone. The only way you're going to get there is get uncomfortable. I'm telling you, you can keep talking about qualifying people from now until the cows come home, and if you're not willing to get uncomfortable, tell your real stories, share your real values, and really dig into the people you're meant to serve. If you're not willing to do that, you're going to still be asking how to qualify people. Okay, so here's a quick rundown. Identify your sub-niche, okay? Share your real story. I'm going to underline that again, real story. Because you all have one. We all have a story to tell. Share it. Like Mary said, she didn't think people cared about her story. You're going to be amazed at how many people care about your story. You will be amazed, okay? Make sure your values permeate your marketing. Now, again, it's nice to have that little page where you say, these are our values, this is my mission statement. That's all nice, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I want your values interwoven in your marketing. They shouldn't have to go to a page to figure out what's important to you other than reading the one they're on. Okay, and rack the shotgun often, constantly. You will qualify people, and you will end up being more fulfilled in your business because you'll be working and serving with people who you want to serve, you connect with, you resonate with. Here's step 5. Create an online follow-up system to help automate the process. Now, I'm not going to have time to go through that right now. Okay, but here's what I'm going to do. I want to extend a little added value, and I want to invite you to the Advisor 30-Day Challenge. Okay, and what we're going to do, now just be clear, I am not going to load you down with 47 videos and a whole bunch of junk just to convolute your life further. Okay, this is going to be very basic, step-by-step, email by email, over 30 days. We're going to work to have you build out that back end. But see, I went through the front end because, again, this part doesn't matter if you don't understand the front end of this. So, but I'm going to help you do that over the next 30 days. It's actually going to start on Wednesday, August 2nd. But if you, and I'll give you the address in a minute. But here's what I want you to understand. Stop wasting time. Okay, it's easy to come to an event like this and get fired up, talk about the dream that we have, building the movement, and it's all good conversation. But it's talk right now. I want you to finally say enough's enough. I'm not just going to come here next year in the same place that I've been and start talking about building the movement. Time to stop and do what you need to do. I'm asking you to make a choice. Okay? And I think it's obvious which choice I'd like you to make. Okay? I want you to take the red pill. I want you to be willing to get uncomfortable. Okay? So here's what you want to do next. Okay, go to that web address right there, advisor30daychallenge.com. Sign up. Like I said, no cost. And the structure is very simple. An email a day with a task or two. I'm not going to load you up. The idea is to build on top of each other. And I probably will throw in a call or two to answer questions. Okay? So anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate your time so much. Thank you, Kim, Todd, Patrick, for having me up here. Thank you.